You crave stability, don't you? That solid ground beneath your feet, the comforting illusion that some things, your job, your relationships, your very identity, will last forever. We build our lives on the idea of permanence, desperately clinging to what is, terrified of what might change. But what if this entire pursuit is a delusion? What if the only constant, the only fundamental truth of existence is relentless, inescapable, and often brutal change? And what if resisting this truth is the very thing that's breaking you? Centuries before our modern anxieties about an ever-accelerating world, an enigmatic philosopher known as Heraclitus, the obscure one, or the weeping philosopher, gazed into the heart of reality and saw not fixed being, but eternal becoming. He declared, "Panta Rhei," everything flows. Nothing is static. Everything is in a constant state of flux, a perpetual dance of creation and destruction. And his warning was stark. Try to stand still in this cosmic river. Try to hold on to its waters, and you will be swept away, broken by the current you refuse to acknowledge. Are you ready to confront a truth so profound it might shatter your illusions of control and permanence? Are you willing to learn from Heraclitus how this seemingly terrifying reality of constant change might, paradoxically, be the very key to your liberation? Because what this ancient Greek thinker knew over 2 millennia ago is a lesson our modern world desperately needs to relearn. Embrace the flow or be crushed by it. This is the wisdom and the warning of Heraclitus. Heraclitus of Ephesus, active around 500 BCE, didn't write lengthy treatises. His wisdom comes to us in cryptic, poetic fragments, like flashes of lightning illuminating a vast, dark landscape. His most famous aphorism, "You cannot step into the same river twice," encapsulates his core doctrine. Why? Because new waters are ever flowing upon you. The river is constantly changing, and so are you. The person who steps into the river a second time is not the same person who stepped in moments before. Every cell in your body, every thought in your mind is in flux. For Heraclitus, this wasn't a lament. It was a fundamental observation about the nature of reality. Change isn't an occasional disruption to an otherwise stable order. Change is the order. He saw the world as an ever-living fire, constantly transforming, consuming, and renewing itself. Fire, for him, was the archetypal element, symbolizing this eternal process, this unceasing becoming. There is no static being, only the dynamic interplay of opposites. War, polemos, he declared, is the father and king of all. By this, he didn't necessarily mean literal warfare, but rather the constant strife, tension, and opposition between forces, hot and cold, wet and dry, life and death, good and evil. It is this very struggle, this dynamic tension, that drives change and brings forth the new. Harmony arises not from the absence of conflict, but from the balance of opposing forces. Beneath this seemingly chaotic flux, Heraclitus posited the existence of a logos, a universal principle, an underlying order, reason, or divine law that governs all this change. While everything is constantly transforming, these transformations are not random. They occur according to this inherent logos. However, he lamented that most people live as if asleep, oblivious to this fundamental principle, each following their own private understanding, failing to grasp the common wisdom that unites all things. They resist the logos, they resist the flow, and this is where the trouble begins. This is the crux of Heraclitus's warning. Change will break you if you resist. Think about it. How much of our suffering comes from clinging to things that are inherently impermanent? We mourn the past, unable to let go of what was. We anxiously try to control the future, terrified of uncertainty. We try to freeze moments, relationships, identities, desperately fighting against the natural current of life. This resistance, this desire for an impossible stasis, is like trying to dam an unstoppable river. The pressure builds, the frustration mounts, and eventually the dam breaks, often with devastating consequences for our peace of mind. When you expect permanence in a world defined by flux, you are setting yourself up for inevitable disappointment and pain. You become rigid, brittle, unable to adapt. Like a tree that refuses to bend in the wind, you are more likely to snap. This resistance isn't just futile, it's a source of profound psychological distress. It's the refusal to accept reality on its own terms. But here's the paradox, the liberating twist in Heraclitus's philosophy. If you stop resisting, if you learn to embrace the flow, this terrifying truth of constant change can actually set you free. How? Firstly, it cultivates adaptability and resilience. If you understand that change is natural and inevitable, you stop being so shocked and destabilized by it. You learn to bend like the reed in the wind, to adjust your sails when the currents shift. This doesn't mean passive resignation, but an active, intelligent engagement with the ever-changing present. Secondly, it fosters a deep appreciation for the present moment. If everything is fleeting, if you can't step into the same river twice, then each moment becomes infinitely precious. You learn to savor the now, to be fully present in your experiences because you understand they will not last. This is the heart of mindfulness, recognizing the transient beauty of what is, without desperately clinging to it or lamenting its eventual passing. Thirdly, embracing flux allows you to let go of unhealthy attachments. Many of our anxieties stem from our attachment to specific outcomes, people, or possessions. Recognizing that all things are impermanent can help loosen the grip of these attachments, reducing fear of loss and the pain that comes with it. It's not about not caring. It's about caring with wisdom, understanding the nature of what you care for. Ultimately, by aligning yourself with the Logos, with the natural order of change, you find a different kind of stability and harmony. This isn't the stability of a fixed rock, but the dynamic stability of a dancer, perfectly balanced within movement. True peace comes not from avoiding change, but from finding your rhythm within its eternal dance. You find your grounding not in permanence, but in your capacity to flow with what is. So, what can we take from this obscure philosopher today, in our own lives defined by dizzying technological and social change? Heraclitus calls us to embrace uncertainty. Instead of fearing the unknown, can we cultivate a curiosity, an openness to whatever comes next? Can we learn to be comfortable with not having all the answers, with life being a process of continual unfolding? He encourages us to practice presence, to bring our full attention to the here and now, to the richness of this fleeting moment, rather than dwelling on a past that is gone or an future that is yet to be. And he invites us to cultivate flexibility, to let go of rigid plans and expectations when reality presents something different, to learn to adapt, to improvise, to find new paths when the old ones are washed away. Heraclitus knew that the only thing real is change. Resisting it is a recipe for suffering. Embracing it, understanding its underlying order, is the path to wisdom, resilience, and a profound, dynamic freedom. What are your thoughts on Heraclitus's philosophy of flux? Do you find the idea of constant change terrifying, liberating, or a bit of both? How do you cope with impermanence in your own life? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. If this journey into the flowing wisdom of Heraclitus has shifted your perspective, please be sure to like this video. Subscribe to One Pixel Soul for more deep dives into philosophy, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. If change is the only constant, how do societal structures, which often resist change, define and limit us based on who we are? Next time, we explore a groundbreaking thinker who exposed how one half of humanity came to be defined as the other, and what it takes to reclaim one's own existence. Join us as we delve into the powerful ideas of Simone de Beauvoir. Thank you for flowing with us today. See you in the next one.